And now, it's time for...
The Horror Guys!
Yay!
I'm Kevin.
I'm Brian.
And we're going to talk about 5 horror movies that we saw this week.
5?
5!
Why not 10?
We didn't see any shorts, though. We're slackers on shorts.
5 movies.
Yeah. Some brand new and some older ones.
That's the way to do it. Get it a mix.
Got to mix this. Did you want to say anything about our... Who brings us this the podcast?
I believe that's probably got something to do with HorrorMonthly.com, the
Really?
Horror Monthly magazine of all the movie reviews.
You should collect all of those.
49 issues. See, I did it again. Episodes, issues.
Episodes,
49 issues.
But anyway, this week we have...
Yeah, we got 5 more to add to the pile.
The brand new Forgive Us All.
Okay.
And, going back in time a little bit, 2015's confusingly named Insidious Chapter 3.
Why is that confusing? Because it's a prequel.
Because it's a prequel. It should be Insidious Chapter 0. Yeah. But anyway, 1989's Godzilla versus Biollante.
Ooh.
Biollante sounds like a shampoo name.
It certainly does.
Yeah. 1986's Witchboard. And then they just remade Witchboard this year. 2025's
yes.
Witchboard. We watched both those.
Which is better?
Back to back.
They're very different.
Yeah, they are.
But first, we were bad, so Forgive Us All, 2025. Directed by Jordana Stott. Written by Jordana Stott, Lance Giles, and Alex Makauskas? Makauskas? Boy, I don't know. It's Alex.
It's Alex.
Stars Lily Sullivan, Callan, Mulvey, and Richard Roxburgh. Hour and 33 minutes. Trailer in the show notes.
And you recognized Dracula from the Van Helsing movie.
Richard Roxburgh was the Dracula in the 2004 Van Helsing, and he's gotten a bit older.
He has gotten a bit older.
Years.
Yeah, and he got a haircut. Yeah.
Yeah, and he no longer turns into a giant vampire bat.
No. So spoiler free, it's in a beautiful location in New Zealand where we see a slice of the zombie apocalypse. And we quickly see that living jerks are just as dangerous as the infected in the aftermath. There's a woman in mourning who finds a wounded traveler who is being pursued, and we gradually piece together what life and politics are like now. But rather than a non-stop action take on it, it's more of a story, kind of takes its time and focuses on the people trying to survive.
You notice most of the good zombie movies really aren't about the zombies. Mm-hmm. They're just, that's the backdrop.
Yeah, this is very much a zombie in the backdrop kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We give it a moderate thumbs up.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Let's see, what was our list this week? Favorite of the week?
I'm going to call this my favorite of the week. Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, so am I.
Mm-hmm.
That's not saying it's going to be on anybody's top 10 list. The other ones this week are...
Weak.
It's a weak list.
It's a week.
It's the best of a good batch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A woman cries and screams next to a fresh grave. As she carries her pistol back to the house, we see that a struggle took place that resulted in a shooting. She then looks in on her sleeping child, who is also covered in blood and barely breathing. Although it looks like she's dying, Maddie, the child, sits up and looks possessed.
Oh, look, she got better.
Maddie leaps, and we hear another gunshot as credits roll.
She didn't get better?
No.
Oh, okay.
At this point, we didn't know possession or zombie or what was going on here. Something's wrong with that. She kind of looked like the Exorcist kid.
Yeah, a little bit, but it is zombies.
Yeah. 2 years later, Rory still wakes up with nightmares over that whole situation. She listens to a radio report that sounds bleak. She passes Otto on the way out, and it's clear that they live way out in the wilderness. We cut to a rider leaving Camp 13, zooming right past the sign that says GMA Quarantine Processing. 2 other horseback riders are right behind him in pursuit. The man's partner gets caught instead. They torture him for the first rider's location, but he dies rather than give it up. Something came out of that quarantine place that they want back.
Yes, they did.
Back with Rory, who still grieves about Maddie. She's considering killing herself, but she doesn't. She finds the horse, from that man earlier, who leads her to the unconscious rider. He looks like he's dying, but she takes his bag, slings him over the saddle, and sets off home, leading the horse. Meanwhile, Otto finds a bunch of bones that belong to their neighbor, Henry. The body appears to be mostly eaten.
Ew.
He sees 3 men, GMA agents, on horseback and hides, but there's also something screaming in the woods nearby.
So you got to worry about these GMA goons and the undead.
And maybe that guy on the horse isn't so good either.
What a pain in the butt.
You know, all kinds of things going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's grief.
Yeah. Grief. Heavy grief in this one. Yeah.
Okay, it's just barely a sci-fi post-zombie apocalyptic story set in the always beautiful New Zealand wilderness. Everything is filmed with either a brown or a green filter, so it kind of has a Western feel to it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
The acting is fine, the situation is interesting enough, but the plot is very generic. We pretty much have given you the plot already. Those various factors interact. It's more of a good guys and bad guys kind of movie than really leaning into the zombies, which are just sort of there in the background a few times until the ending.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks great, has good acting, but it was awfully slow moving.
You know, Lily Sullivan kept reminding me of a young Gina Davis, too, a little bit.
Okay.
Which is a good thing. I mean,
I didn't see that very much.
Yeah, I kept seeing that. Yeah, she's very good in the role. The rest of the cast is
Oh, she
all
was
really
good. Yeah,
too.
I just didn't see that resemblance.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But yeah,
All
I liked the direction it took with the zombies in the background. And,
Thumbs up.
It's a good one.
Worth a watch.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Insidious Chapter 3 from 2015. Written and directed by Lee Winnell. Stars Dermot Mulroney, Stephanie Scott, and Angus Sampson. Hour and 37 minutes. Trailer in the usual place. Spoiler free. It's a prequel to The Haunting of the Lambert Family, showing how Elise got into the business along with Specs and Tucker. This is kind of their story. So pretend that they all look younger than they did in the previous movies. Hey.
Well,
the previous movies take place after this, so they all got to look younger here.
Well, and he's especially trying really hard because he's got this multicolored mohawk going. Like, hello, fellow kids.
And of course, what's her name?
I made you lose your train of thought.
You sure did, yeah.
Yeah.
The old woman, hello, fellow 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But age discrepancies aside, it was pretty well made.
And it works well. It does work fine with the other films.
Yeah.
If you're an Insidious fan, you'll probably like this one.
Yeah,
It focuses on those background characters.
Yeah, how'd they get their start? How'd she get in the business?
How to get started.
Yeah, takes place years before the previous films.
How did it get started?
How did it get started? Well, Quinn goes to see Elise. She's looking for a psychic. She wants to talk to her dead mother, who's been trying to contact her on her own. And after a bit of discussion, Elise is willing to help. She contacts the spirit world and senses something bad. So she warns Quinn not to call on her mother. If you call one of the dead, all of them can hear you.
Oh, it's a party line.
Yeah. Well, Quinn goes home, but she keeps talking to her dead mother.
Uh-oh.
Her father works a lot, and her brother Alex is weird. She goes to an audition that afternoon, and it doesn't go very well. So she whines to her friend Maggie, and she sees a strange dead-looking person who then gets hit by a car. No, she gets hit by a car. Because the dead person distracted her. Yeah. Well, Quinn dies on the operating table, but they bring her back.
That's never a good thing in horror movies.
No.
Usually you think that's a good goal, but not in horror movies.
And she's already trying to contact ghosts. And while dead, she sees something scary. And 3 weeks later, Quinn talks to an old woman who speaks of the man who lives in the vents.
He what?
Yeah, he up there right now standing in your room. Oh, she seems sure of that. Well, Quinn is in 2 leg casts and a wheelchair, at least for a while. And this is like an apartment building. And there's an old couple that hangs around in the lobby a lot. Well, across town, Elise goes to bed. She dreams about Quinn. And she considers opening up her padlocked reading room, but she doesn't.
Spoiler. It eventually gets opened.
Yeah.
Hilarity ensues.
Well, Quinn starts seeing stuff, and things get spiraling worse out of control, and they call on Elise for help, and Elise recruits these 2 young guys for help, and the 3 of them team up, and
they all live happily ever after until the previous 2 movies that are all downhill.
The 3 of them, they have plot armor because they're in the movies that take place after it. So nothing's going to happen to them, but these other people, we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as said, this is a prequel to the first two films, and the character of Elise is the main thing that ties the films together. It's got foggy corridors, lanterns, and weird creatures, so it does fit in with the other films just fine. It's not my favorite series in general, but if you like the others, this is a solid entry.
And that's how I put it too. I'm not a big fan of the Insidious movies, but this was good. It's like
These
the others.
Lee Winnell movies kind of lean together in my mind, and they're all kind of maybe 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, middling, better,
They're well
slightly
made,
better than middling.
but they're very bland.
And I know all these Insidiouses that I've seen, and I couldn't tell you what happened in which one, and I mean, they all kind of run together and aren't very memorable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. But if you like them, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them had that guy that looked like, the Phantom One Jedi guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who was he? The Sith dude? Darth Maul.
Darth
the
Maul.
Darth Maul demon, yes.
Yeah.
I think he probably had a name in the horror movie, but I couldn't tell you what it was now.
Darth Maul demon.
Yes. One name we're not going to forget is Godzilla. And in this movie, he's fighting Biollante, 1989.
But that's crazy. They trapped Godzilla in a volcano in the last movie. He can't come back. He's gone forever.
Well, I think you talk plot armor. Godzilla's got it all.
He keeps coming back.
Directed by Kazuko Amore, Hoji Hashimoto, and Kenjiro Omori. Written by Shinichiro Kobayashi and Kazuki Amore. Stars Kunihiko Mitamura, Yoshiko Tanaka, and Masanobu Takashima. Hour and 44 minutes, trailer in the usual place. That is quite a poster.
It's an awesome poster.
It looks like it's Godzilla versus a flower.
The Godzilla posters in general tend to be really cool.
They are over the top a little bit.
Yeah. Well, who knew that Godzilla would be back? Like I mentioned, he was trapped in a volcano in the last movie, and years have passed. And a scientist has accidentally created a giant plant-animal hybrid that has the spirit of his daughter trapped inside.
Well, that's going to take some explanation.
It's science-y, yeah, but you can't argue the science, yeah. Well, surprising no one, the giant creatures fight.
It's in the title.
The budget is bigger, the effects are a little better, and the story moves pretty well. It's another good entry in the series.
Yeah, the last one was 85's Return of Godzilla, so it's been a couple of years.
It's still a guy in a rubber suit, but it's, it keeps getting better.
This
steadily.
is the first appearance of CGI in a Godzilla movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the monsters,
but not
it's
the
just
monster.
some computery stuff.
Some computer graphics, yeah.
Credits roll as we see clips from the previous film, and afterward, scientists pick up some of Godzilla's skin from the wreckage and take it to be examined. There's suddenly a shootout between a group of soldiers and another group. The winning group is killed by a lone assassin who takes the sample. Are they going to clone Godzilla?
Sorta.
No, not exactly.
Sorta, kinda, not exactly. Yeah.
We see that man again on a boat heading to a biotechnology laboratory in an oil-producing country. They're very careful not to say it's the Middle East, but you can tell by the looks of the people and the names.
But it's really generic, and it's a made-up name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they hope to splice the cells of the fast-growing grain to end world hunger. Godzilla wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, there's an explosion, and Erika, Dr. Shiragami's daughter, is killed. 5 years later, Shiragami has been working with ESP and roses. Mickey, the young ESP girl, may be able to communicate with plants. His group is being spied on by the Americans, who may be planning to steal their discoveries. Those pesky Americans. Asuka and her boyfriend Kirishima go to the Godzilla Memorial Lounge. Well, that sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's like built. It's got a big footprint in the roof of the place that they're using as a skylight.
Which is cool.
Yes. Yeah. To talk about him going to America to MIT to study. Meanwhile, a volcano is threatening to erupt on an island nearby. All the children at school have had that same dream. That's never explained. And Godzilla may be coming back.
No, it was a school for the gifted. Mika was certainly psychic, and they were looking for children that were as well.
Okay, I missed that detail.
Yeah, Mika was working with them, and the children had just a touch of the shining, and Mika had full out powers.
All right.
Yeah, that's what, and the kids all had the same dream of Godzilla coming back.
Well, they all believe that Godzilla has awakened. Gundo is the man tasked with watching the island for Godzilla's return, and he's looking for job security. I really hope he comes back. Give me something to do. The scientists have invented a bacteria that eats nuclear material for use if there was ever a nuclear accident. They think that they may be able to use that against Godzilla, since that's what he uses to recharge.
And if they could infect him with it, it might do him harm.
They need those Godzilla cells, though, to create the final product. They go to Dr. Shiragami for help, and he turns them down because of his daughter's death. He eventually changes his mind under the condition that he can use some of the Godzilla cells for his own side project.
Yep.
Dr. Shiragami starts working with the cells. He does something with the cells of the telepathic roses as well. He combines them both into something new. Kirishima warns that this thing could possibly evolve to be worse than Godzilla.
Oh, pshaw. That'll never happen.
And I'm just going to leave that hanging there because you have no idea what's going to happen next.
Yeah. How big does this rose end up being?
Well, this one has moved on from the talky, suspense-filled previous episodes and is paced much more like an action movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The pumped-up soundtrack makes this obvious in the opening scenes. There's these two army groups shooting at each other in a warehouse, and you got the jamming music going on, and I wouldn't have been surprised if Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't have showed up at this. There is some early CGI graphics used for maps and diagrams, sometimes in, well, what they called back then 3D, which were probably pretty cool at the time.
Cutting edge.
The monster and all the important stuff is still done with miniatures and men in suits, but the computer age was coming. In a 2014 poll, what was that, 35 years later, a poll of Japanese fans, this was ranked the best of all the Godzilla movies, up to 2014. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it is one of the better ones.
It is,
Lots of action.
It entertains, yeah.
And the monster stuff doesn't drag on too long. The monster stuff doesn't take over the movie. It's all pretty good.
Just right. Just the right amount. Sometimes it's overdone. But, yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look at this. It's Witchboard from 1986.
I remember that. Actually, I don't think I saw it previously, all the way through. I saw clips.
I may have seen it at the time, but I did not remember much of it.
Yeah.
Written and directed by Kevin Tenney, stars Todd Allen, Tawny Katane, and Stephen Nichols. Hour and 38 minutes. Yeah, and there's a trailer. Spoiler free. This movie was made in the mid-1980s, and oh, does it look like it. You could tell this is 80s just by everybody's hair.
Yes, you could.
Well, it does have a small body count. It's pretty tame and dated for today's audiences. It's easy to see where the story is going, and it's well made enough to entertain. We wouldn't call it a tremendous classic, but it's worth checking out if you haven't seen it already.
Especially with the new one coming out, so
Yeah.
you can see how they compare.
And how does this one start?
Well, as credits roll, people arrive at a big house for a party, which is very 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Jim watches Brandon and Roger argue over the existence of God. Lloyd and Mike show up, and they're Jim's underdressed friends. Linda consoles Jim about how nasty Brandon got. Meanwhile, Brandon explains the pronunciation of the word Ouija.
Ouija?
Ouija.
No, it's Ouija. It's French. Oui. Ja.
And then he describes the process as if none of the other party goers had ever seen one before.
These were not hard to find in the 80s.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. Well, Brandon talks Linda into trying the board. Brandon explains that this particular board was dominated by a little boy named David. Through the board, David answers a few questions, but then gets upset by Jim mocking the process. And suddenly Brandon's tires on his car outside explode.
David's not happy.
That's not good. Later that night, as Linda and Jim have sex, the Ouija board in the living room sits there doing nothing. But
It's a very ominous shot of that nothing.
It does it ominously, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah. In the morning, Linda uses the board to try to connect David by herself. She's just gotten a positive pregnancy test, and she wants David to enter her baby. Which is kind of weird. It's like that escalated quickly. Yeah. David says no because he doesn't like Jim. Meanwhile, Jim and Lloyd talk at the construction site where Jim works until a bunch of material falls and kills Lloyd.
Accidentally, right?
Mm-hmm. Coincidentally, at the same time that she's messing with the board. Yeah. Well, David tells Linda where to find her lost diamond ring in the bathroom drain. And it really is there. Jim comes in. She tells him what happened. She really did find the ring where David said it would be. So it must be real, right?
He must be a good spirit.
Yeah. Well, at the funeral for Lloyd, homicide department detective Dewhurst comes to Jim and Linda. He thinks Lloyd was murdered. Could the killer have been aiming for Jim? Well, when the couple argues later, she tells him that she's pregnant. And then more stuff happens. Should we leave it there?
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah.
There's a haunted Ouija board. Ouija board. How?
Ouija.
Can't do it now.
Ouija.
It's pretty formulaic, but it doesn't get boring, and the story moves along at a good pace. The acting really isn't that bad, but it's not impressive either. It's one of those 80 films where all the young 20-somethings with perfect hair live in multi-million-dollar houses and drive sports cars while working in construction.
Uh-huh. At first I thought, oh, he's the owner of the business. Like, no, he's just a grunt working there.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
The whole existence of Detective Dewhurst seems unreasonable and unbelievable. We saw Lloyd die in what appeared to be an accident. We know it's supernatural, but from anybody else's point of view, that was an accident. Why would he come to the funeral claiming somebody murdered him? That's just dumb.
It
came from nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason he would even be on this case. But anyway, it's very 80s and seems very tame and dated today. Nothing at all wrong with it. It's just very, very dated.
Mm-hmm. I'd put it above average for the era.
Yeah.
It was good, yeah.
You know what it's good for?
Progressive entrapment.
A remake.
That's one of the things that gets thrown around because he's trying to sound sciencey and smart and talking about the various stages.
The spirit world.
She's undergoing progressive entrapment.
Yeah, what that movie needed was a good remake.
Yes, it did.
Instead, we got the one from 2025.
Well,
it's not that bad.
I thought it was better.
Yeah.
I thought it was better than the first one.
Directed by Chuck Russell, written by Greg McKay, Aaron Russell, and Kevin Tenney, stars Madison Eisman, Aaron Dominguez, and Mel Jarnson. Hour and 53 minutes. Trailer in the show notes.
Well, spoiler-free, like we said, it's an updated remake of the 1986 film by the same name, and this time it's like a pendulum board.
Nobody today is going to be
board.
scared by a Ouija board.
This time around, yeah. And it looks a lot like a dartboard, but you suspend a pendulum over it and set the pendulum swinging, and it'll select, Does a decent job of updating things while keeping the core of the story from the first movie. But there is more to it than this time around. The story is more complicated.
Actually, it's not so much a remake as it is just sort of an homage to it. It's worth watching both.
Yeah.
It's not so much of an overlap that you're going to be bored with either of them. But we open in France, 1693, with witches dancing around a bonfire in the woods. Like witches do.
Mm-hmm.
There are skulls and body parts hanging from the trees.
Like witches do.
They have a man tied to a tree.
Like witches do.
And the chief sorceress orders one of her followers to cut off the man's arm.
What?
Suddenly, men on horseback arrive and kill many of the witches. In the scuffle, the witchboard falls to the ground. Kevin said it'd also be good for darts.
It would be an awesome dartboard.
It would be. Every time you hit the center, somebody dies.
Ooh.
Credits roll. In the present, two men break into a museum to steal the board. They fight. One guy shoots the other before being beaten to death with a tire iron. The shot man makes it outside, but he's not looking too good.
Yeah, this is not a smooth criminal job.
No.
Not at all.
Elsewhere, Emily, Christian, and Richie forage for mushrooms, getting ready to open a new restaurant. They're opening a restaurant. Who's got time to go out in the woods and look for mushrooms?
Like the whole day doing it.
The whole day, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, anyway, she's given up on the search for her parents. So she's an orphan or something, and we know that's going to come back later.
Uh-huh.
Emily hears someone crying in the woods and goes to look. All she finds is a cat, but the cat leads her to that board lying in the dirt. She doesn't see the dead body of the thief nearby. He didn't die well, it looks like.
No, he didn't.
The other thief reports to his rich boss, who says that the other thief has died. They don't know where the board is wound up, and the men's 3 identical women cut the surviving thief's throat. You know you're a bad guy when you got 3 identical clones.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Triplets.
Christian introduces his friends to his Creole menu. Richie invited Brooke, who is also Christian's ex-girlfriend. Emily is engaged to Christian, but she's already lost her ring. Brooke is an expert on antiquities, and she examines the antique, which is probably pagan, the pendulum board. The 2 of them try using it to answer a question. Will our restaurant be a success? Suddenly, a flaming bird shoots out of the fireplace. They should have gotten that cleaned first.
Yeah, I think they should have.
And he says, but the chimney's 400 years old. All the better reason to get the darn thing clean.
Even more of a reason to get an inspection. Yeah.
The restaurant is nearing completion, and we see a whole bunch of dangerous-looking equipment in the kitchen. Meanwhile, at home, Emily plays around with the Witchboard and finds that she was using the wrong kind of pendant with it last night. She hears on the news about the board being stolen from the museum just recently. She then uses the board to point the way to her lost engagement ring. Downstairs, a weird chain of events occurs, much to someone's injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes poorly.
It does. Well, the Witchboard here is not a Ouija board. It looks more like an old dartboard. It's still more or less the same idea, a haunted board that predicts the future. This one is obviously more modern and updated than the original, but it does keep some of the aspects of the story, like the engagement ring. That's in there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. The CGI here is not very good, but everything else is pretty decent and moves along at a good pace. I liked it more than disliked it.
Yeah, so did I. I liked it a little better than the original. And I thought a lot of the shots looked like they had 3D in mind, but it was not released in 3D.
Yeah, like
but
the hands hanging from the trees and stuff in the beginning.
And lots of shots
Yeah.
throughout it I kept noticing, and I wondered if that got aborted partway through the final production or something.
Didn't see anything in the trivia?
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, now that you brought that up, I had not really thought about it, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that could have been 3D and wasn't.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hey, that's it for this week. Forgive Us All, Insidious Chapter 3, Godzilla vs. Biollante, and a couple of Witchboards.
Okay.
I think we both liked Forgive Us All best, and I would go so far as to say the second Witchboard, the new Witchboard is my second favorite.
Yeah.
Runner-up.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
And, Forgive Us All was the winner of the week.
Believe it or not, next week,
we're going to watch more movies.
we'll be back with 5 more. Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
That's it for now. I'm Brian.
And I'm
And
Kevin.
we'll see you next week.
See ya.